Welcome to the Hoodrat2Harvard podcast. I am your host, Attorney Chandrika Simmons, also known as the Law Chick, also known as Hoodrat2Harvard. This is our new series for this season, Woven Wisdom, with my co-host. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies and gentle negresses. How are you? It's your girl, HellGirlVibe. And for those of you who are following me on YouTube, it's Mrs. Blackhorn. Nice to see you again.
That's what's up. All right, so we have a full agenda today as per usual. We came organized because Tarsha did all of the heavy lifting, and we appreciate her for that. And so on today's topic, we're starting off with shouts out to excellence. Tarsha?
My shout out to excellence is to the one, the only Hoodrat2Harvard herself, who was sworn into DC federal court on September 9th, which happened to be her birthday. Miss Ma'am got sworn in while wearing the most fabulous, flyest, long silver lemonade braids. She turned 50 this month and is naturally turning up with it. Big things are coming her way. So if you're standing in it, bitch, move. Bitch, move. My shout outs are to you, Miss Chandrika.
Thank you so much. My birthday's on the 10th, so the next day
it was on the 10th.
Okay. I was sworn on the 9th. Our birthday was on the 10th, but it was such a good time. I had such a good time.
Can you tell me about it?
Yes. Before I do my shout out to excellence, let me piggyback on Tarsha's shout out to me. So what happened was I have this federal case. I have a couple of federal cases where I'm suing the United States government and Homeland Security as a sect of that. And so my client, we have a case that's pending at the EOC level. We have a case that's pending at the federal level in Michigan federal courts. And then I had to file another one, which I wasn't going to go to Guam because she's Homeland Security. It's just sort of kind of like they move around like the military. And so I couldn't file in Guam. Well, I didn't file in Guam. So I had to file. I filed in Michigan. I knew they were going to move it. And so they moved it to DC court. In order to be in DC federal court, I have to be sworn in and a member of that court. And so I had to apply, have a sponsor, pay, do all those, get sworn in person. And so it was a whole experience. And I'm appreciative of my friends, Ariane and Ina, for housing me, Ariane for being there for support, and Ina also for being there for support and seeing me get sworn in. It was a great time. We had an awesome time. It was a great experience. And I appreciate DC no longer doing it via Zoom. It did cost me some coins. However, I do appreciate the fact that we were in person and I got to experience all of that. And as far as my case goes, it's a case where this Jewish woman who's married to a Black man is being discriminated against by her coworkers every time about anything, about her being Jewish, about her marrying a Black man, about her pregnancies. They basically just took her guns and all that's from her once she got pregnant, thinking that being pregnant was a disability. It's just a mess. So this is ongoing cases that I have, and so in order for me to litigate them properly, I had to be admitted to the DC bar. So it was a great experience, and I'm happy to be a member. I'm so excited. At this time in my life, I'm just so excited. So thank you for that shout out to excellence. My shout out to excellence is to House Representatives Jasmine Crockett on being her full and vocal self. Her moments keep getting better, and I'm here for it. When I tell you I'm here for it, anytime you call it mediocrity, at that level, so that people can understand the conversation that we're having at this level, we want them on display for everybody. We're tired of being managed and supervised by people who are not qualified. We're tired of being talked down to people who couldn't clean my bathroom, much less sit in it. I wash my hands, bitch. What about you? Anyway,
let the qualified Black woman speak.
Right. And so keep it going, Jasmine Crockett. I am rooting for you. Next, we have our hot topics, and the topic of discussion for our culture news is what, Tarsha?
The diddler has been caught. But before we continue, this is your trigger warning. This episode of Woven Wisdom will be discussing the horrific and harmful acts of Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, which may be triggering for some of y'all. If you do not wish to listen or to experience this episode, please stop listening now and join us next month for the next episode when it drops.
Thank you. All right, so for those of you who've been under a rock or just clicking out or you protecting your peace, Sean, Puffy, Diddy, Black Love Doctor, whatever his names are, Combs, was recently indicted in federal court out of the Southern District of New York, which is they have a 99% conviction rate. So.
Ooh. Ooh. Did you not say if the feds they don't get out of bed unless they got something?
They've been okay. I read the lawsuit is 55. I mean, the indictment is a couple of pages long, and I read it all. Bottom line is they've been watching you. You've been on their radar for a minute. They started watching him in the early 2000s.
What?
Yeah. So they've been watching you for 20-something years. You
20-something years.
Look, it's over for you, bitch. They've been letting you go for 20-some years. They've been watching you.
Watching them.
Just watching you do what you do, watching you make your moves and taking note of everything and talking to everybody.
Can you give us the cliff notes for the ones of us who didn't read the indictment?
So I will. Let me just make sure I got everything pulled. Hold on, because I got it pulled up.
20 years.
So he has. Yeah, his count 1 is basically racketeering conspiracy. For those of you who are familiar with the YSL trial, which I am addicted to at this point in my life, it's just those are RICO charges. Racketeering conspiracy is basically a RICO charge, and they are. They have indicted him. The grand jury has indicted him on that and charged him with count 1, which is RICO. And then he has, I think he has another count. Let me make sure.
The sex trafficking?
He has count 2 for sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion for victim 1. Count 3, he has transportation to engage in prostitution. And then he has some forfeiture allegations. Basically, once you catch a RICO charges, akin to how R. Kelly went down, R. Kelly was, although R. Kelly rose to fame and gained money and lost money and gained money and lost money, at the time of his last indictment, he had gained some money, and they made sure to take everything he had gained from him. That's basically a forfeiture, because they don't want you to be able to defend yourself. And that's basically how R. Kelly went down, basically, because if he had a more competent attorney, as you're seeing in the YSL trials, you can say what you want about Young Thug. I'm not a fan of his. I don't know his music like that. And so, but I am a lawyer. And what I'm seeing on display is that Young Thug is very smart. Smarter than most, because he held on to his coins. And for those of you who don't know, Young Thug has never been arrested or convicted of anything.
Nothing? This is his first charge.
Ever. Yes. This is right.
Wow.
That baby is a very smart baby. And he made sure he had money set aside just for that, to be able to pay for a lawyer in case something happened with him. But most likely he was saving those coins for his career in case somebody tried to take money from him, things like that nature. But he was smarter than R. Kelly. I'm not sure what Diddy's position is or what he has done. I do know that he did pay off his mortgage for his mansion, which I think was like $45 million or something like that. However, it really doesn't matter unless he put the house in the kids' names, or it was originally in the kids' names. I'm not sure, because that forfeiture, if he conducted any type of anything at that property, there's going to be a possible claim for them to try to get it taken from him, so he can't leverage that in order to pay for his legal team. So money makes a difference when it comes to these things. But as it relates to Diddy, that's the overview of it. He's been accused of having an enterprise where he was prostituting young underage people.
So was he like a pimp, or was it something other than a pimp?
So a pimp usually doesn't participate.
Got you.
Okay. So
got you.
He was like akin to a mob boss who also did killings. That's how you should get that. Like I'm up top, and occasionally I come down and slice somebody's throat. But he didn't occasionally come down. He was pretty much part of the shenanigans all the time. That's why you get these people talking about the Diddy parties and things like that. And so now you're going to hear celebrities talk about, well, I went to Diddy party. I went to the PG Diddy parties. You're going to hear that. Watch me.
I bet you are.
Sure as my name is Chandra, you're going to hear people start talking about, well, I went to the PG Diddy parties. I left before the shenanigans, Why'd you leave? How did you know what was happening? What prompted you to leave? What did you see finna take place that prompted you to say, I gotta get out of here? And then why you didn't say nothing?
Yeah. Same with the damn feds. Like, y'all watched this man for 20 years and y'all could have saved so many people. Y'all could have saved so many people, but for 20 years y'all let this monster run rampant.
Yeah. And
y'all all going to hell.
I don't like the RICO charges as a whole, because they tend to not get the people who are actively participating in these things and allowing them to get immunity, allowing them to become witnesses versus defendants. I don't like that part of it. That's one of the things that I don't like about the YSL trial. You putting killer after killer on the stand against a person who's never been convicted of anything, never been charged with anything, never been arrested prior to now. You don't care about the killer. You just want him. And I don't like that part of it. If
so you think it's like a manhunt,
right? I don't like that, because you're not trying. And I've said this before on my podcast, if I get assaulted or by somebody, I want that person, to be the person that is pursued, not that person's boss. I want the person who actually did it to be. And they're doing the way RICO going. No, it's not like RICO was created to take down the mob, and in taking down the mob, they would have maybe 1-2 snitches, and then everybody would come down. Now you just taking down one person. Everybody else. Where's everybody else that participated in all these shenanigans?
So it was like the mob. You took down the whole infrastructure of the mob, from the crime boss all the way down, like the minions and everything. So you're saying there's no organization to take down. This is a one-person thing, or maybe they're not doing it correctly. They're not doing it correctly
as far as how
are they trying to get to.
This is how RICO charges were originally structured. You're taking out an enterprise, not one person, an enterprise. You think who did Puffy call to get the underage people?
That part. Who?
You see what I'm saying? Why isn't that person also part of these?
You want to know my conspiracy?
Go ahead.
Because they're politicians.
Because they're all part of it.
And they're politicians. Some politicians up there.
Yeah. Y'all are part of. That's why we can't get laws passed. I'm on a tangent now, but that's why we can't get laws passed that protect children. Because the predators are writing the laws.
Absolutely.
That's why you
on the head.
And it's the same here. You're not going to take out the underlings or the people who coordinated this stuff, because you are those people.
And
you ain't gonna convince me otherwise. That's what you're doing. Because there's no way you can tell me that Puffy gets to stand by himself. Who does he call to get the drugs?
Hello.
Who sets up the room? Who got the beds going? Who ordered the baby oil? Who supplied the stuff? Where are these people at?
Who's removing the police reports?
The guns.
Because they are.
Right. Where people? There are people who have told on him. Why ain't go nowhere?
What's that lady name? Jaguar stayed.
She stayed busy saying something about something, and that's I think Jaguar is my September twin too. But she stayed busy about something. Like, in all of her talking, there are many truths that are falling out of her mouth. Say what you want about her. There are many truths that are falling out of her mouth, and stuff that she said years ago is coming to fruition.
Yep. Because she hasn't been sued for defamation yet. She hasn't been sued for cease or desist or nothing.
Slander or anything.
Nothing.
Because the truth is your defense.
Yep.
So, go ahead with your assessment of Comey.
Yes, indeed. Before we move on to our third topic inside of this topic, our third subtopic, I want to say this. While this is going on, I need y'all to remember one thing and one thing only. There are a lot of victims in this whole Diddy situation. Please remember that sometimes the jokes you make, they aren't it. You could have kept them in the drafts. I'm seeing people making baby oil jokes. Somebody that made a Diddy in your house, a Diddy behind you filter. Like, these people are going through traumatic things enough to give each other, or enough to give them nightmares, right? Like, we often look at the industry artists like, what's wrong with y'all, when all of a sudden their personalities change. Take Chris Brown, for instance. His personality changed. Take Trey Songz. Take all of these artists that you know and love, and look at how they were before they were introduced to Diddy and how they are after. These people have gone through rape. Not saying those two were, but they've gone through things that no human being should go through. And if you've ever experienced someone trespassing on your person, you know what it feels like, and you will not ever find a joke in it. Not at the cost of your own sanity. So just take in mind, when you guys are making these TikToks trying to go viral, there are certain things that you just don't need to joke about. And Diddy is one of those. This is a true attestment to how it really is in Black community, where we know or may assume that things are going on behind doors, but none, for years, nobody has really held this motherfucker to the flame. They let him continue on with his shit. He's harmed a lot of people. Some of y'all know these people.
Right.
Some of y'all are these people. It's never okay to make fun or try to go viral at the expense of a victim. And just keep that in mind. Moving on. Sorry. I had to come in here, but like, sometimes you have to stand for something, and you need to understand that not everything is a joke. For me, for this, I don't see the joke in it, because I've known so many things about so many people. I've experienced so many things myself, and it's never funny. If you saw the pictures I saw of that one young man that Diddy assaulted, and the bloody bathroom and the after result, your heart would break. Your heart would break. The third subtopic in this is those in the industry who are considered close friends of Diddy. Now, mind you, Ms. Chandrika just said that these feds have been watching Diddy for over 20 years. Diddy is not the end game. All right? There's others. Some of y'all's favorites is about to be had. And these are some of the names I found floating around that are that the court of public opinion thinks is going to be looked at next. J-Lo, Lil' Kim, Naomi Campbell, Will Smith, Pharrell, Ashton Kutcher, and Jay-Z and Beyonce, which the last two have distanced themselves from Diddy over the years, if y'all haven't noticed. What are your thoughts? Do you think they're going to be looking at Diddy's friends?
I think they already have. I think they've already had conversations with them. I think they already talked to their lawyers. I think they've already had depositions and taken. I think they've already had statements submitted. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce at this point are Teflon, and they survived R. Kelly. And we all know how connected Jay-Z was to R. Kelly. And yet somehow Jay-Z survived that. Again, Teflon. As far as the others, I'm not sure. I think somebody's missing from the list, and that's Mary J. Blige.
Yes.
Missing from the list of people who possibly have been talked to already, have had depositions or statements taken whether directly with their lawyer. I think things have taken place behind the scenes already, and I say that based on the fact that I did read. If you go look at my previous podcast, that's prior to this one, the last podcast, episode 10. I did read half of the lawsuit that Don Richards, formerly of Danity Kane, filed against Diddy, and in that, it made me. It brought light to a lot of things. She was a trusted confidant. And I encourage you to go back and look at that podcast and listen to that podcast. I think that she did herself a disservice by suing him and including all of that information in that. I went on my live on TikTok and read it, and I didn't get past page 22 before I had a mental breakdown.
What?
Yes, because of all the things that she witnessed. When
Mary J. Blige?
Not Mary J. Blige, Don Richard, formerly of Danity Kane. But it made me think of how close women were to him that enabled him. And when I say enabled, meaning that they turned a blind eye to what they actually saw with their own eyes. Don Richard admitted in her complaint that she watched him and several men gang rape his assistant one night by a pool. And all she did was leave and go to her room. That's when I lost my shit. And then prior to that, she says that she witnessed him at parties, several parties, when they were doing dirty money, bringing underage people, pumped them full of drugs, and then sexually involved in sexual escapades with them. That she watched.
Some of y'all need to fucking.
But you heard about getting paid from Danity Kane.
You don't need to be paid. You need to be sued right along with him. You need to be in the jail right along with him, because at that point you are complacent in the fucking acts. You're complacent. You're not.
Girl,
are you fucking?
I'm not.
I see why. Okay, I see why you had to end it, because
I could not continue, because what the fuck? You up here watching?
What the fuck do you mean?
Girl, you watched them do this to her, to these kids, and you didn't do nothing for years. For years, this went on. And you were concerned
and you worried about money?
Okay, girl. Okay. I don't know what you
saying. You need your ass beat too. You need your ass beat too.
But I was saying that same shit on my TikTok live, and not everybody, a few people out of 100, I say 2 out of 100 said, just give her some grace. I'm trying to figure out what grace
you don't get grace. You don't get grace at that point, because at that point you didn't care about the people who was getting assaulted. You were there to go along for the ride.
For the ride. Yeah. And you were trying
to there along for the ride.
You were trying,
because if you ever had if you really had a problem with it, it wouldn't be no years later you talking about it. Ever. You're dirty. She's fucking dirty. I don't care who knows. I said I was gonna try to be nice this because I'm trying to rein it in, but it does not matter what her want is now. She should have acted. If she truly cared about anybody being harmed, she could have left that situation, went to her room, called 911.
Yeah, at least we have some proof of something. Anything. You went to your room and you laid down, bitch.
So it was beneficial to you. You didn't care. You were like, okay, well, those type of people you could never have in your fucking circle, bitch. Those are the type of women that will literally see you get done dirty in their face. They will see you assaulted in their face. And when it's time for the court orders and everybody getting subpoenaed and shit, they will probably step up on the stage and fucking what do you call it when you
testify?
They will testify against you. Like, oh no, I didn't see that happen. It might have happened, but I didn't see that.
Okay. Well, hers.
You can't be trusted.
and I encourage you again to go back and listen to that episode 10 of the podcast for season 4. But she and her lawyer thought that was smart to put those in there of her personally witnessing Puffy dog walk Cassie on multiple occasions. Oh, it's in her lawsuit. In her lawsuit for money, she's outlining all the things that she personally witnessed. And I'm just like, when y'all sat down and drafted this, did you?
She was there watching her get beat.
Yes, girl. It was one incident when she's talking about Diddy had them come over to do the album for Dirty Money at his studio there. So Cassie was in the kitchen in the morning cooking eggs, and then he came down and told her, "You can't, bitch, you don't know how to cook shit," and slapped the dog piss out until she hit the floor, and then threw the eggs on her in front of her and the other girl from Dirty Money. And I'm like,
I'd have to. It'd be on site.
Because I'm trying to figure out.
It'd be on site every fucking time.
What I said on my live was, okay, fine, you were scared. You thought you would be hurt. Why wouldn't you yell out to your homegirl? Because you're saying Cassie is your homegirl. Why wouldn't you yell out to homegirl? Girl, you need something? You want us to help you? What's happening? Because even if she's going to continue to go back with him, in this moment, bitch, do you need me to help you? You didn't do none of that. You let him drag her ass back upstairs after he done mollywopped her, threw eggs all on her, and then dragged her ass back upstairs. Girl, I'm so
You wanted fame so bad. She wanted fame so bad that she was willing to let people die for it. You are a despicable bitch. You are a fucking despicable bitch. You wanted fame so bad, you would let somebody get harmed, get raped, get beat, get murdered for it. You're disgusting. I hope you never see I hope you never see a fucking dime.
A dime.
I really do.
A dime.
At all. And I'm gonna leave that on that, because fuck you, bitch. Fuck you.
Next, Tarsha.
Yes. The next, because I mean, I'm heated. I'm hot. Like, I couldn't understand it, but we digress. Moving along. The place that they got the diddler, the Metropolitan Detention Center, I have yet to be able to make it through a full video of this motherfucking place because it is extremely violent. Sean Diddy Combs is behind bars at I think it's the only federal prison in New York City, right? It's the only federal jail. Excuse me. It's the only federal jail. Anyways, there's videos of how these inmates get down. If you've ever looked at the Metropolitan Detention Center on YouTube to see what it's about, I don't see how y'all can make it through a video. I cut it off after maybe a couple of seconds. The inmates there are videos of them shivving each other. One inmate was chained up to the table while the other ones was stabbing them. Like, this is a harsh place. And this is exactly where Diddy ass need to be.
Yeah.
He need to be with the real ones, okay? He is a monster. Put him with the rest of them.
I mean, he most likely
let them.
In isolation.
You said what?
I said he's most likely going to be in isolation because they need him to be present for the trial itself. He's better.
You think he's gonna survive?
Yeah, I think he will survive. Here's the thing: I think Diddy's ego is too big to kill himself. Like,
you don't think they're gonna have somebody to do it?
I think that they're gonna put him in isolation because they want this top conviction, and to have him die like Epstein. We need to show y'all what we do to y'all when y'all get too big for y'all britches, because the industry allows this to go on for years. So he has
not just the industry.
Yeah, they have to send a message of what's to take place when things like this occur. You got too big. You did too much. We let you have some money. We let you have your deviant behavior, and then you want to start suing people. Well, that's not how we do this.
Is that what happened?
If he had been content with the contracts and things that he got, and not rock the boat, he would have been fine. But you weren't content.
Who was he trying to sue?
He sued Ciroc. He sued the distributors for that one alcohol. What was that? That he used to do. Oh, I can't think. I'm going to brain freeze right now. It was another alcohol, but he sued them. And them white men said, not on our watch. We know what you do. We allowed you to do this. You are a guest. Conduct yourself accordingly. And that's what happened. You outstayed
what?
You outstayed your welcome. Because they all have DVD. Oh. They all do. This is y'all club. And then somebody in the club decided that they was gonna rock the boat in here and start suing people for monies they thought they were owed. And they was like, really? You're a guest. You're not.
Let me show you how we really get down.
Right, you're a guest. And so this is for you. So we gotta make an example for everybody in this industry. Conduct yourself accordingly. We allow you to get certain things. Don't get too big for your britches. Know your place.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that's what was up.
I don't think that
I do have a question.
Yeah.
You say you don't think he's going where?
I don't think he's going to die in prison or in the jail. I think they're going to protect him. He's going to be in isolated custody, and they're going to make sure that he gets back and forth to those trial dates because it's going to be a salacious trial. If he allows him to trial, which his ego most likely will.
You think he's going to tell who all and what all?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm. No.
And what would be the reason he wouldn't tell?
I think too many cars will go down. Too many cars will fall if he were to tell. He knows. And there are certain things that they allow and certain things they don't. There is a secret society. And us being from Louisiana, we know we have the boule it's the secret society thing is alive and well, and it's real. And there are secret societies in every faction of any industry you want to think about. There are people behind the scenes making sure that certain things get done. You see certain things develop, all those things. When you see new high rises and stuff like that, and you went to a planning commission meeting and that wasn't on the agenda, and yet and still it came about, that was a secret meeting that you weren't aware of that made this come to fruition. There's always a secret society.
You're absolutely right. I have a question because I found out this week and last week with this whole Diddy situation, people don't know the difference between federal prison and just regular jail. Can you please explain for our listeners what is the difference between federal prison and jail?
So federal prison, okay, so first off, there's a difference between prison and jail, period. So we have state and local prisons, and then we have jails. So a jail is usually for a temporary hold. So you're there. Most people are not in jail. Some people are in jail for 5 years, can be up to 5 years sometimes. But that's supposed to be rare, but it's not, because sometimes a trial can go that long. And so they can't put you in prison because prison is for when you've been convicted. Jail is for holding while you're waiting for sentencing, you're waiting for convictions, you're waiting for investigations, or you're waiting to be bailed out. That is what jail is for. So that's the level for jail. That's the difference between a jail and a prison. Prison is where you go after you've been convicted. Jail is where they hold you till all these other things play out. And then for federal prisons and federal, we don't call them jails in the federal system, call them detention centers. That's basically it's a holding center for you while you're on trial, while you're waiting for sentencing, while you're waiting to be bailed out. In this case, that's where Diddy would go, but he's been denied bail at this point, and that's what he'll be waiting. That's what he'll be until the trial begins or until his attorneys file something to try to have him released on home arrest or something like that. But just so we're clear, most of the people who get charged with RICO, they don't get out. Get released on bail. That's why Young Thug's still locked up. That's why R. Kelly wasn't allowed to go back home. They don't allow, because you have means to monies, and they think that you'll use those monies to flee to countries that don't have extradition, that will allow you to come make you come back to America. And so that's the reason why you're never going to get out on bail.
And he shouldn't. Okay. Next topic is that the safety of Diddy behind bars. Last time we checked, he was on suicide watch. Do you think this was a strategic move, or what are your thoughts?
I have no idea what that means. Again, I don't think that. I think his ego is so big and so out of control that he would never kill himself. Why would he? Why would he?
And I have to agree. I think you're right. Think about it. This man went years.
It's the
untouchable.
It's the Kanye.
He's got a God complex.
Yes. That's what I say. It's the Kanye effect. You think that you have surpassed all the things that you have imagined that you could do in life. And so why would you think that it would stop now? If I could imagine myself being a mogul, being a billionaire, being a millionaire, and all those things why can't I imagine myself free? You see what I'm saying? I can imagine myself. Absolutely. I can imagine myself getting on the other side of this trial, because I am who I am. I wouldn't have got here if God didn't love me like he do. All the things that feeds an ego. I don't think that he is. If they say he committed suicide, I doubt if he did.
Yeah, same here. Do you think the sentencing will be life or death?
No. So for RICO charges that don't even come with that. RICO charges.
No. Okay.
You get time.
You get time.
You get time. So it's about basically if you go to trial, what your convictions are, and each of those counts carry a certain amount of years, and then it's going to be up to the judge to weigh based on your previous history of criminals, whatever. If you get the maximum, if you get the minimum, if they run in concurrent, if they run in tandem, all the things. So all of that's going to come into play. And as far as he goes, I think he'll do a trial too, because it's like the OJ effect too, right?
I'm not ready for it.
You're gonna do a whole trial, and because you think in your mind, I'm OJ. I'm not black. I'm OJ, and I got money, and I got attorneys, and we're gonna get off of this and this and that, blah blah blah. And didn't he?
He did. He did. Wait, ain't OJ dead?
Yeah, he did now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did.
This has been a hell of a year. Yeah, this has been a hell of a year.
It's been a lot.
Next on, moving right along, the culture. My question here states, are Black people responsible for allowing this monster, the diddler, to go unchecked for so long? When you have women like, what's her name? What's that lady's name that watched Cassie?
Don Richard.
When you have people, yes, when you have people like Don Richards of Danity Kane sitting in the exact room for the exact moment, watching it unfold, are we as a community responsible? So not fully, but partially responsible in this Diddy outcome?
I think we as a collective, I'm never going to say Black people, because in that same room was Jimmy Iovine. Who's the head of Interscope Records, who built Dr. Dre, Eminem.
He needs to be in jail too.
And did Diddy dirty money, did all the things. So he witnessed Diddy punch the dog piss out of Cassie, according to Don. They all in the same room. Neo was there, Usher, Jimmy Iovine.
Neo was there, Usher was there, all of them watched Cassie.
That's what Dawn said. She was there. That's what she said. You better be careful when you start pleading in lawsuits, bitch, because I'm reading every piece of it. And that's what you said happened, bitch. You said, this ain't allegedly, bitch. You said you was there.
This is first witness account. Eyewitness.
Right. You were there. You saw this. And you said Neo was there, Usher was there, and Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy Iovine is not Black. He's white. Jimmy Iovine is in a position of power unlike anybody in that room.
So are we as a people, a collective? Let's remove the word black and add the motherfuckers, the others that was in there. Are we as a people responsible, as a community, responsible for allowing this to go unchecked? Because they can't say nobody knew. Nobody can't. They'd have been in the fucking rumor mill for years, and the shit that he's been doing has been going. People have been talking for years. Are we partially responsible?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. As a community, as a collective community, those who knew, and I'm speaking about the record industry, if you had caught a whiff of what happened at a party and you didn't ask somebody, hey, I heard such and such got SA'd at that party. Were you there? I heard you were there. Were you there? Did you see it? I'm asking questions because now I want to know what I'm dealing with and who I'm dealing with. And anytime somebody, I don't think 50 Cent let us down.
At all. Say what you want.
And for years, he don't fuck with him like that. He's weird. He's strange. He has strange behavior. I don't like it. I don't get down with him like that. He was very vocal. So you tell me why in the same breath you couldn't be.
That part.
Somebody stopped 50's money. 50 money come from Jimmy Iovine too. So tell me why 50 was vocal. Nobody else said anything. You could have said something. I don't like the fact that people, particularly in the industry, go along and get along. And you're more concerned about coins than you are about the overall the culture.
Don.
Right. And it's sort of akin to during the time that I want to say, because I'm old. So going back to when African Bambaataa was in the streets and people in New York knew that he was a predator amongst young men. And said nothing. African about doom do doom boom bada doom do.
That one. Do it. Shut up. Just shut up.
That stuff right there. Yeah. So you knew all this time because it just came out like in the last 5 years that somebody finally told. But you knew, y'all knew for years. You can't. But again, I can't even say it's just the industry. We do this in our own communities as far as churches goes. We do it as far as protecting predators inside the church. We do it as far as our family goes. Oh, that one uncle, don't let him be alone with the child. Everybody looking for where the baby go? Where the baby go? Because Uncle Seniors is here. Where the baby at? Where the kids at? Why?
How about put him, Uncle C, is in the fucking ground?
Why
the
Uncle
fuck
C
is
here?
wrong with y'all?
Why Uncle C still here? If y'all concerned about him being around y'all children, it don't make sense. It don't make no sense. Who should fix Uncle C a plate? Why would I fix a predator a plate? Are you on dope, bitch?
Don't even get me started, but you're right.
Yeah. So we do it all the time.
We as a collective are to blame. And here's the thing. The industry is a boys' club, first and foremost. And every now and then, a woman gets access to that club. Don King or Don Richard?
Don Richard without an S.
Don Richard got access. And she did what I believe most women who are looking for fame and who don't stand for something would do. She is the type of woman who you have to watch out for if you are in the industry. All of these men, Usher included. I'm so disgusted that, but of course, because they're saying that Usher is the reason Diddy got to Bieber. Usher went and got Bieber for Diddy, and this is just on the rumor mill, and all of them, Usher included. If it comes down, I bet not see y'all getting on here with your think pieces. Tell them, well, we need to hold grace for them. They are monsters, just as well as he is. If they have orchestrated, go ahead. Sorry.
Here's what, because my daughter just asked me this the other day, because I was reading this and things. She said, so how do you feel about Usher? I said, I don't view him as a predator. I view him as a victim, which I do, because his mom gave him to Diddy when he was a child. And so you're going to do one or two things as a survivor of sexual trauma as a child. You're either going to become the predator like R. Kelly, because he himself as well, he was sexually assaulted by his sister and other family members. And I get it. It happens. And you become the monster that was a monster to you. So you can become a monster, you can become an advocate, or you can do nothing. And I think in this case, Usher did nothing. He didn't become a predator. He didn't become an advocate. He did nothing. And I think you see it play out in Usher with him. If Diddy fed him older women when he was a young child, and now as an adult, you keep marrying older women to feed whatever monster that monster placed inside of you. I at this point I can only feel sorry for you and what you went through, but at the same time, you were there in those rooms and could have said something as well. And I'm sure you shared something with your mother. Why she ain't said nothing? And I'm sure you shared things with Jermaine Dupri, because that's your ace boom coon. Why he ain't said nothing? You see what I'm saying? It's like nobody's saying anything regarding these things. So I don't look at Usher like he was a trusted confidant of and was in on the shit with Diddy. I think that he was an observer of certain things, and he was silent and complacent. And as a result of that, he deserves to be placed in that role as somebody who was a part of this infrastructure, and you were silent and complacent. And whatever role it is that he plays in that, whatever it is that you are due, I hope you get that.
I agree. I do think that he also is a victim, because you're right. His mom gave him to Diddy when he was young. However, two things can be true at once. Yep. You can be a victim and you can be a monster. If you know this man did this to you, and you maybe fear for whatever reason that you can't get away with him, or you have some Stockholm syndrome type attachment to him, or whatever it is, maybe he did go for help and nobody helped him. Not his mom, not his best friends, not his closest confidant. Nobody helped him. Where I disconnect at is, why would you bring or continue to have these parties or continue to bring people around him? Because Justin Bieber was his protege.
All right.
Why would you think of not protecting him? Like, right. As a man, like, maybe you didn't feel that you had power over the situations that happened to you, but as an individual, as a fully frontal lobe developed individual, you always have a choice. If the money means that much that you are willing to take people under and have people go through traumatic things, you deserve every single sentence Diddy gets. If he get it, you need to get it, because therefore, then if it's found out that it's true that you were feeding him these kids, and you were one of the connections that was leading to the women getting assaulted and all this other stuff, if you became a part of the system, you need to go down with it as well.
With you saying that, it triggers something in me of going back to the R. Kelly, basing it on, I'm loop in Justin Bieber. Where were Justin Bieber's parents?
Them too. Everybody.
Where are the parents of these people that have put these children in positions to win, to become famous, to all the things? Where were you? I can see an Usher saying, well, why would I be more culpable than his own mom and daddy, who didn't even care to look out for him? I can see that happen. And same is with the R. Kelly situation with the girls. I've never watched the documentaries about.
I can't.
And I'm not going to watch them, because at some point there has to be some accountability when it comes to at the parental level.
Yep, they need to be in jail too.
I'm trying to figure out why no parents have been convicted of anything, because then you're sending them, and convicting people of crimes serves two purposes: to make sure that the perpetrator is properly sentenced for what it is they've done, and possibly correct their behavior going forward, and to send a message to others that this is a society that doesn't tolerate certain things. I think that parents need to be be part of these RICO charges.
Absolutely. Oh,
It's been a message that you cannot pimp out your children to the industry and think there will be no culpability associated with it. You can't do these things, whether it's Justin Bieber, whether it's Usher, whether it's Aaliyah's people. You can't do this. You can't send children out here under the guise that they want to be famous and be rich, and then you just throw them to the wolves with no regard. What I liked about and what troubles me when I hear people talk negative about Meg Thee Stallion is that that baby is navigating the best that she can. Her whole advocacy, her grandmama, her mama, her daddy, she don't have nobody. She lost her the one person that was advocating for her in rooms and protecting her from certain things died on her. So there's something to be said for a parent that advocates and make sure that their child is protected in this industry where they're trying to achieve their goals. And there's something to be said. I'm gonna say it just like Gary Coleman's parents. I did a take on that documentary about Gary. Your parents didn't protect you. They didn't look out for you. All they were concerned about is that you were a money-making machine and they wanted the money. There has to be a revamping of these RICO charges to include when it comes to these high-level men, to include these parents and show them and set an example and a message to them that we ain't tolerating this shit. You cannot just throw your children to the wolves.
Because if it is involving trafficking of any kind, especially minors, hold the parents accountable. Make them understand, make them serve jail time, remove their parental guardianships from them. I 1,000% fucking agree, because the parents are so hungry for money. They're the same as Don Richard. They're the exact same. They don't see nothing but the money. Hold these, because you are, at that point, you're a supplier to the sex trafficking culture, the industry. You're a supplier. You are a supplier. Just like there's drug suppliers, you are a supplier to sex trafficking, the sex trafficking industry. You should be held accountable right along with these monsters. You are no better than them. Usher's mama, no better. Justin Bieber's mom, no better. They know to a certain extent, if not the full extent, what these people have done to their kids. And people still continuously try to get their children to stardom and fame, not because the kid wants it, because at a young age, a kid don't know nothing about stardom and fame. You as an adult, as a fully developed adult, you've heard the rumors, you've seen the things, but you maybe have not made the your life into stardom how you wanted it. So you put that weight on your child, and you will put your child through hell and beyond just to have a buck. In this day and age, with social media and all these artists and everybody else going the indie route and still making it, there is no reason you should hand your children over to these fucking monsters. If you fucking do, you deserve to be in jail right along with them, because you're just as bad as them.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
Moving right along. Last subtopic for this topic, and I know this has been a heavy topic for y'all. Thank you for those of us who stayed and rocked with us this far. We're going to shift topics in a minute, shift momentum. But the last statement, our question is, what can we do as a whole to start ensuring the safety of these men and women, Black men and women, Black boys and girls, brown, anybody? The safety is, because it's not just Black people going through this. Anybody who's been in the industry has probably suffered. I think of Kesha when I think of this, and she woke up one morning and made a remix to her song. But because Diddy has been assaulting men and women for over 3 decades, y'all, there needs to be. I love the fact that you brought up holding parents accountable and stuff. I hope if you don't do it today, maybe in the future, you start pushing for a revamping of the RICO to include that, because that would be perfect. But what can we do as a community to
what can we do as a community?
Yeah.
What can we do as a community? Advocacy. You have to be. I understand that people don't have a voice. I taught myself as the voice of those who of the voiceless, those people who don't have a voice. I get it. I get it. Some people just can't speak up, and it is what it is. However, you can't be complacent.
That part.
Right? You just can't. And you can't. And what I just got to, me and my husband were having a conversation, a robust discussion yesterday. And for those who don't know, can't recall, my husband is a preacher. And the Christians like to talk about sins, right?
Mm.
And like to preach there's no sin above any sin, which is a lie. That's not in your word, but there
hypocrisy.
Help, girl. Hypocrisy.
But y'all don't know y'all book like that. Y'all don't know y'all book like that.
Y'all read like that. Y'all read like that. Hypocrisy is the top. Number one, sin. And we do it every day. Hey, clean that room. Yeah, my room ain't clean. Don't eat that. That's not good for you. And then I'm sitting in my car eating McDonald's and throwing a bag in the trash before I walk in the house. Such hypocrisy. If you actually adhere to your Christian principles and actually read your word, don't let somebody who just said I'm a man of God and ain't had no type of training and nothing come tell you anything about that word. You need to actually read it if that's what you're doing. But all religions have the same thing. You have to be an advocate for what is right. All religions are based on that. You have to be an advocate for what is right. And you know that what is not right is people preying on others. That's basic shit. You know that's not right. So what are you going to do to ensure that doesn't happen? You have to say something, see something, say something, even if it's anonymous, even if it's where you telling, hey, can you go say this for me? I saw this happen, this is that. Can you file a report for me? Something, because there has to be some type of accountability, something where there are checks and balances where people know, oh, if I do this in front of Miss Ross' house, she gonna say something. So I'm not gonna do that in front of her. Then you can go down the block and then if you say, oh, Mr. Davidson, oh, I can't do this in front of Mr. Davidson. Maybe I need to rethink doing this because everybody gonna say something about it. It changes behavior for people. If people start speaking out and people are known to be robust about something, people just tell me all the time, if one of your child kills somebody, we turn them in. Yes, bitch. I'm not living with. Why would I be living with a killer? The hell?
Oh, you did that. You did. You killed that. You killed. Okay, baby. You ain't about to get me.
You ain't got to. Well, I'm worried now.
See, that's the thing. I'll kill for you. You could have came to me. I would have took that. It would have been my own doing, but you did it. You did it. So I'll kill for you. I'll kill for mine.
I got nothing for you.
But don't do it for yourself.
You talk to them people because I'm done with it. But I think it's all about speaking out and quit being complacent in the system and quit talking about the system don't work when you yourself are part of that system. Whether you're an active participant or inactive participant, you're still a participant. And you have to decide what your role is going to be. And if your role is one of complacency, then you get what you get.
Yep.
And that's how we change. You have to speak up and say something. If the pastor is running through all the women in the church and don't nobody say nothing, and he continues to be the pastor, what are we doing here? Sit down, sir. You're done here.
Yep. I agree. I think that's brilliant. Start. I don't know what it is that frightens y'all about speaking up, but whatever it is, reflect on it and remove it. Because at this point in time, when you are an adult, shouldn't much scare you.
No.
Another person, you step into another person, it doesn't have to be all angrily or whatever, but you step into another person and holding them accountable shouldn't be scary. That's not a scary thing.
Because what's the consequences of going down and filing a police report? They could target me. God's gonna target you. Which one you were more concerned about? Your celestial destination or this here on earth. I don't know if that ain't your thing. But also with your own inner thoughts. If you don't serve a higher purpose, with your own inner thoughts. For those of you who don't do that, you deal with your own inner thoughts and how you show up in the world. Are you okay with that? Are you
And
okay?
here's the thing. There's a such thing as anonymous reporting.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to put your name to it. You don't the way y'all be making fake profiles and going on people's stalking their account after they block you and shit just to see what they up to. You're not afraid of much.
Right. Put
in
that
this
in
day and age.
the right place.
Hello. Start standing up for these men and women. And if someone here, two things, and I'm gonna move on from it. Two things. If you are getting your ass whooped and your friend is watching you get your ass whooped, if you make it through it, if you live to see another day, stop being friends with that friend. Because at that point, your life doesn't matter to them. And if someone shows you that you're not even get off of her, hey, stop doing that. Your friend ain't got to jump in, but say something, speak up. If they didn't speak up in vocal or in action, get another friend, bitch.
Another friend.
Get another fucking friend. And don't have her come around you no more. Her or him, because it's not just women, men too. If the person you are with watches your downfall or watches you get harmed and then calls you up the next day, hey girl, just seeing to check on you, give them a piece of your mind like you've never given them before. Hang up, remove them, block them. Because if your life don't matter to them during the time that you were threatened, it won't matter to them another time. In that second time, you might not make it out of it, bitch.
Right. That part.
Oof. All right.
All right, we're moving on to our political moment. Ooh.
We can keep this short. I just wanted to let y'all know that your girl Kamala, even though I still am voting for Jasmine Sherman because that's who I believe in, your girl Kamala is up 48.5%. Donald is at 45.9%. This is the latest 10-day polling average from the Guardian. For those of y'all, it seems like a lot of y'all who were on the fence and maybe not voting after this last debate between Kamala and Trump, decisions were made. Y'all made y'all mind up. And I see a lot of movement going on around it, which I'm proud of y'all. Start talking to your family, start talking to your friends. If you know they're not voting, definitely push them to vote. It is your birth-given right. Our ancestors have fought for it.
Yep.
And I hope to see, when I come back to the States, a beautiful welcoming. And that's all I had to say.
I like it. All right. It works for me. All right. Well, okay. So let's do, what are we listening to? What are we watching? What are you listening to and watching?
First, let me get the suggestion of the month. I know you don't do horror films. I know you don't, but this one,
no, God.
Oh my! I haven't seen a horror film so good. Oh my God! I haven't seen a horror film so good in a long time. It's called The Oddity, and it's on Amazon. And when I tell y'all, it's not what you think, but it scared me, bitch. I had to cut on all the lights when I was into the bathroom. And I don't scare easily. I don't scare easily at all. It's called The Oddity, Oddity, and I ain't giving no spoilers away. But definitely check it out if you are a horror fan. As far as what I'm watching here, your girl gotta learn Spanish. I got a Spanish tutor for me and the kids. I'm watching telenovelas. And y'all, I have never been so stressed. I'm stressed. These telenovelas, it's too much. It's like Mexican women, chicas, señoras, señoritas. Y'all are watching this in y'all home and y'all are not stressed. These telenovelas have me glued to the TV, man. When I tell you, it's one thing, shenanigan after shenanigan after shenanigan, that will make you just want to light the whole house up, the whole neighborhood up. Like, that's what I'm watching. And what I'm listening to is this talented artist. She's an indie artist, y'all. Crystal Crave. She's also
Crystal.
Yes. Have you heard her song "Fuck You"?
I downloaded her. She made a whole EP.
Yes.
I downloaded it. I went and got it, but
her new song. Did you hear her new song?
Huh?
Have you heard this new song?
No.
It's so good. It reminds me of like the OG rap school. It's good. It's literally been stuck in my head, and it's been on repeat nonstop. Like I've been cleaning to it. I woke up this morning, made breakfast to it, and it's just, you know, that song, like a song gets stuck in your head, and you just want to. She got me in a chokehold right now, and I love to see it. If you are not following Crystal Crave on social media, check her out. It's Crystal, Crystal, Crave with a CCRAVE. The song that is in my ear and stuck in my head right now is called "Fuck You," and I just love it. I love every bit of it.
Has some of the best reads ever. I started following during the pandemic when she read that boy who commented on something, and she went through his page and read him for filth. And I said, bitch, I am here for you for the long haul. That shit was hilarious. So I downloaded her EP. I guess I have to listen to it. I get a chance now since I'm got some semblance of downtime. So shout out to Crystal Crave. Oh, I like that.
Yes, I hope to see her. I can't wait. I hope she's do like more and does big things. Like, you know, it's so good to see like our mutual just get out there.
She is so cute too. She's smart. She's talented. She's a rapper. She's a
kind-hearted.
She's everything. She's a little ball of energy.
And we love to see it. So shout out to you, Crystal.
I am watching again the YSL trials. I am thoroughly absorbed into this. I don't do criminal law. For those of you who don't recall, I do not do anything criminal. So this is all new territory for me to be watching something of this magnitude. I ain't watched anything like this since the OJ trials. When I watched with my grandmama in the living room. This YSL trial has got me tied up in a bind. And it is putting all of the things that is horrible about Fulton County Prosecutor's Office on display. These people are at a level of incompetence I have never seen before in my entire life. I really, and it's not about just love, the prosecutor love. It's every single one of them, and it stems from the head. Whoever is the head of that department, all y'all are trash, and you never should have to have this put on camera, but I'm glad you did, because now everybody gets to see you for your dirty deeds, bitch. Y'all not concerned about justice at all. Young Thug don't even have any convictions, nothing. And the fact that y'all going after him and letting whole killers be on the stand testifying and don't care anything about arresting them and gave them full immunity. You don't concern about victims, and you're not concerned about a neighborhood. You're not concerned about anything because you're not going after the person who actually committed the crimes.
This is what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Who got full immunity? Oh, I'm so loud. I'm so sorry.
You're every single person that the prosecutors put up. Dunigated killers commit immunity. Right. You're not concerned about justice.
They need to end this trial and quickly get it over with. This is a waste of fucking time and resources.
And money and resources, and you're wasting the jurors' time. But when Lil Woody stood up there and said, "Yeah, me and Tret shot a Rich Homie Quan daddy barbershop," and ain't nobody flinch. Y'all gave him he's the killer.
I know you lying.
No. That's what he did. And I said, I'm going to say it on here and I'm going to say it again. But I've been watching this trial for like 2 months now, 2 or 3 months now. And I said, if they keep mentioning Rich Homie Quan and Birdman names, one of them motherfuckers is coming up missing. And why?
Didn't Rich Homie Quan die?
Dead. He died the week after his name came up in that trial. I counted 24 times. I just started counting what I saw. I was like, they're going to keep saying this. I said, we're going to make it a game. So I just started doing lines. Every time they say Rich Homie Quan name, I just do a line. Line, scratch. Line, scratch. I said, goddamn. I didn't know that him and Young Thug was connected like that because I'm not privy to the...
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I didn't know any of that shit. And so I said, if they mention his, and then I ain't know Birdman was tied up in there from Cash Money Records. I said
his old ass.
Yes. I said, if they mention Lil Wayne, well, I ain't think Lil Wayne will come missing because they was looking at because Young Thug looked up to him. But if I said if they mention Rich Homie Quan and Birdman name one more time, it's one of them niggas is coming up missing. And they did.
It happened.
He's dead.
My heart goes out to those to Rich Homie Quan's girlfriend and all that stuff. Like it was.
Yeah, all his children.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm watching. I'm watching the Rise Sale Trial, and I'm listening to my podcast. I mean, my playlist, 50 and Smart as Fuck on YouTube, which is under Chandrika Simmons. I made a whole playlist of 500 songs. You can play it nonstop. It will give you the vibe you're looking for, especially for cleaning. It's a very good vibe for cleaning up your house. And then I have other playlists on there as well. And so that's what I'm listening to and watching.
I love it.
All right. So that is it for us. You got anything else, Tarsha?
I don't, but I do have an idea.
Please.
For our last show in December, we should invite our listeners to sit in this live.
Oh, we should do a live. Where should we do a live at?
Here. We can do it in here. Because you can have people in here.
Can we?
Yeah, you can have an audience.
Oh, let me see. Shoot, I paid for it. I don't even know. Okay, so let's do that. Let me try to figure out how that works for my StreamYard account, and I'm down with that to invite people to a special taping. Our last
and they can put their questions or comments in the chat.
Okay, I'm down with that. Let's do that. All right. So you've heard the Hoodrat2Harvard podcast with myself, Chandrika Simmons, and my co-host Tarsha, also known as HellGirlVibe, and this is Woven Wisdom. Millennials and Gen Xers speaking their opinions and minds, and you have been privy to it, and for that you are welcome. Now go do something with yourself because we hope you learn something. Okay.